This place is a mess. What'd you do? I'm just kidding. I know exactly what I did. Hi, I'm DePunk. Welcome to the workshop of Things by Wings, and welcome to the channel of Life Beyond the Moss. I'm so glad you're here. So the shop's a mess. I've thought about cleaning this shop a million times before I started this YouTube channel. It's only been a couple weeks, and I really wanted to clean the space. I wanted to make it nice and neat and tidy because I've been told, to be professional, everything has to be clean and perfect. But that's just not the case, right? Nothing is ever neat and tidy, perfect all the time, 100%, and ready for the next task. It's never like that, at least in my experience. If it is, then I'm just not busy enough. But this mess, this chaos, is the perfect representation of what's going on right up in here. At least it is for me. In my workshop, here and here, it's just cluttered, full of things. This is very easy to see. You're able to see the piles of wood, the piles of tools, the piles of who knows what, the piles of parts. Things are everywhere. And it's very easy to see that in the workshop. It's not so easy to see that whenever you're talking about someone else's mind, or even your own mind. It's very easy to say, no, I got everything put together, I'm pretty good. But let me ask you something. Have you ever been in a situation where you're dealing with a fog? For example, here in the workshop, many times I'm looking for a tape measure. See, I can't even find a tape measure right now. I know I have about 15 of them in here. I even got bright green tape measures so that they're easy to see. Hold on. Found one. It's little, but it's a tape measure. I've got bright green because bright green is not the color of any wood. It actually is a very uncommon color in the wood shop. That is, until you decide to brand yourself with Life Beyond the Moss and you start getting green stuff. And then these tape measures just start blending in everywhere. But that's not even the point. Even bright green like this, it'll be impossible to find in a mess like this. I see one hanging up over there where it's supposed to be. And there's probably a couple on that workbench. There's probably a couple on that workbench. And under that workbench, on the floor, under that sawdust. Let's not even talk about pencils. I have about 50,000 pencils here. I know it. I know it because I've bought so many pencils. That's the fog of a messy workshop. Let's talk about the fog of a messy mind. It's very easy to forget things. Maybe you wake up in the middle of the night and you walk downstairs to get a glass of water. You make your way down to the kitchen and you forget why you're there. So, a midnight snack sounds good, so you get a midnight snack. Maybe a Rice Krispie treat out of the cabinet or a Pop-Tart or something, maybe an apple if you're being health conscious, which I'd like to say I am most of the time. But, sweets do taste good. And then you turn around and you go right back upstairs. And whenever you get upstairs, you get back into bed, you get all comfortable, you're like, crap, I was really thirsty. So you go and you do the whole process all over again. Mental fog. Very relatable because of all the chaos and the clutter that is going on up here. Clutter is a really hard thing to deal with. Once you have so much clutter, especially something like this, it can be very hard to even start to think about what you would do next. And I know that I need to clean it because I have projects that I need to do, but things get in the way. And then there's all the little affirmations we tell ourselves about being cluttered. A cluttered desk is a sign of a genius. You go to a doctor's office and there's papers everywhere, something like that. It's very busy, it's active, this is a good place to be. You go into a wood shop or a workshop of an artist. That means they're busy, they got a million projects going on, they're constantly busy. That's a good thing. That's what you want. To an extent, right? I've always said that a clean shop is a dead shop, like it's not very busy. But a clean shop is also very much a dream. And it's not so much a clean shop as a well-organized shop. Everything should have a home. Everything should have a place. So that whenever you complete a project, you can put things away right away. But that's sort of the problem, right? Whenever things happen, in your life, and whenever a project gets done, you might not put away everything, or that scrap wood just didn't make it to the garbage, it went into a bin instead, or the tools just didn't quite make it all the way home. They made it to another workbench, and then the next project started, and then those tools came out, and then those tools went and sat somewhere else, and then you end up with sockets over here, the socket wrench is way over there, a sander over there, who knows what, and a clamp right here. And that happens in our mind too. The little things that happen throughout your week, taking the kids to soccer practice, taking yourself, going to a doctor's appointment, you get maybe some bad news or whatever you weren't expecting, but you just carry that in the back of your head. It's like, okay, I'll deal with that later. Or I gotta go get some blood work, but I'll think about that later. Or I gotta take so-and-so and do this. I gotta go do this. I gotta go get the car inspected. Oh, but then the other vehicle needs something. Or oh, the dogs need to go to the vet. Little things, they keep piling up, right? And then before you know it, you're missing appointments, you're missing things, or oh, I forgot to do that. I forgot to send in the vehicle registration, because there's just a billion and one things going on in your mind. And that's just the things of the world. That's not even the things that are affecting you at your soul, at the soul level. And that could be emotions, that could be things that are happening maybe within your relationship, or things that have happened in your past, and they're just being brought to the surface a little bit at a time. All of those things just pile on and pile on and pile on until there's just no room left, until you are swimming in clutter. See, I wanted this to be a quick video, but I also wanted to be, truthful and talk more about the clutter and what really led to the clutter, not only here but in my mind. I don't want to go all in, but the clutter here in the shop, we got some United States flags in the process of being made, and I just can't do it. I just don't know where to go from there. Return. Just make a blooper out of that, right? So I made an outline so that this wouldn't happen. But the clutter gets to you, right? And it affects you. I'm looking around and I see a billion projects that I've started, and I get a little bit of anxiety because I wanted to finish that. I wanted to finish that. I have this going on. I really want to, finish working on the projects that are involved with the parts of the bike that we took apart, and get grease all over myself because I keep touching, parts that I shouldn't. But I really need to clean this place up. I really do, and I'm going to do it. I am. It's happening today. I actually. All
right, so it's at that point that my microphone cut out, and I went full roboto. So I'm just going to chime in here for a few minutes and wrap this video up, save you about 25 minutes. Yes, that's right. I rambled on a little bit. I would love for you to hear everything that I talked about, but the microphone wanted this to be a shorter video, and I appreciate that, because I know not everybody has 35 minutes to sit and listen to a guy ramble about his inner workings of his mind while not really getting to the point. So I am getting better at this. This video was going to be just about 35 minutes long, which is a lot better than 1 hour and 4 minutes, but it's still pretty long. So let's get right back into how we should declutter our minds and our workshops, just by starting with little things at a time. And with the wood shop, it's easy. You can start with sawdust or even dirt that's on the ground, maybe some garbage and little things like that. But now that I have the motorcycle here and I have a bunch of motorcycle parts, I can start by cleaning up the motorcycle parts. And I did end up getting rid of a lot of the parts that are behind me on the floor. And then here I also see the plastic covers of the headers from the engine. I'm not going to use them. They're just chrome painted plastic. It's junk to me. And the reality of me selling them is impractical because the bike is no longer made, and it's just there's no point in keeping them. It would just be hoarding if I did. And there's also some other parts sitting up there. Let's see what. There's the boot for the drive shaft. I'm not going to use that. It's a little piece of silicone rubber. There's the fuel filter. Well, there's no more fuel in the bike. The gas tank is empty and the engine is in a billion pieces. So, yeah, there's no reason to have a fuel filter. And there's the horn. Again, the bike is not running. The electricals are all gone. And there's no reason to keep that. No one needs a horn just laying around. Or maybe you do. I don't know. But I don't need it. I'm decluttering my workshop. So, just like the workshop starts with throwing away garbage that you're just not going to use, and just maybe sweeping up some sawdust, sweeping up the dirt, throwing away some random bits and bobs that you've just been holding on to for no reason whatsoever. That brings us to the mind. And how do you declutter your mind? The same way. Get rid of those little bits and bobs that are just eking and irking at your soul for no reason, or at least that reason is so far gone and displaced that it's not relevant anymore. And things that come to mind would be traffic jams, your morning commutes. I know everybody hates the sitting in traffic waiting just to go to work, and we tend to hold on to some of those things a little bit longer than we should, right? Somebody cut you off or honked at you for no reason, the guy that flipped you off just because he's having a bad day and he's been carrying things with him just like the rest of us. But his things are a little bit more on the surface, right? It's very obvious that he's dealing with something. So we're still thinking about him. We're still talking about him. Maybe we need to let that go. But it's the little things that happen throughout the day that just sort of pile onto each other. It's the stress of traffic. Oh, I didn't quite make it. It was raining, so my shoes got all wet, and I had to deal with that all day. My socks are wet. And just one thing after another, right? Take a breath. Declutter those things. Just shed them. We need to get into a practice of shedding the little things as they happen, so that we can continue to live in the moment and be present in the moment. It really sucks to constantly be dwelling on the past, but it sucks even more to miss out on life as it is happening because you are stuck in the past or you're dwelling on something in the past. Now, I understand that there's a lot of big things going on in your head. Just like me, I have some big things that I need to work through. And that's going to be a lot of work. And it's a lot more work than just quickly saying, oh, okay, you know what, I'm over that, I'm going to move on. So we'll set that aside. Acknowledge it. Give yourself some grace and compassion, and understand that that's going to take a little bit longer to work through. It might even require some therapy to work through, and that's okay. You're worth it. But first we can start with the little things. The traffic jams, the rainy weather, the bad weather that maybe messed up our shoes or messed up our clothes for work, and we had to sit with wet socks, or the snow and the slush on our bottom of our pant leg. Or I dropped my phone and I cracked my screen, and blah, 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 blah. The little things that add up. Just shed those things. In the grand scheme of things, they're irrelevant, right? 20, 30 years from now, you're not even going to care about the traffic that you sat in today, because you're going to be sitting with your family, your grandkids, your nieces and nephews. So whenever you look ahead and you're thinking of your life 20, 30 years from now, if there's things that are currently happening in your mind that you know that you won't even be thinking about then, why are you still holding on to them now? Declutter. Just start with the small things and then work your way up to the big. I'm going to wrap it up here because I don't need this to go on forever anymore. I'm going to leave you with the quote that I was thinking about here today, and that is, the universe is change. Our life is what our thoughts make it. This was a mindful meditation from a few days ago, and definitely applies here because Marcus Aurelius, he believed that the universe was in a constant state of change and a constant state of flux. And it's just like us. It's like our world. Our world is constantly changing, and we need to be able to constantly change as well. So that means we need to be willing to embrace the need to declutter. Change the way that we're thinking. Once we learn to declutter our minds and get rid of the little things that are currently there, maybe we can train ourselves to get rid of those things as they happen. Just acknowledge them. As you dissect your brain and you remember those things that you are holding on to, and they're trivial things, you know they are. Next time that they happen, try to make a conscious effort to not hold it in. It's the same as in the workshop. After a project, I will take those extra 10 steps to put the hammer away, to put the clamps away, to hang the tape measures up, so that way the next time that I need them, I won't be in the fog of the messy workshop. Thanks so much for tuning in today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I do apologize for bouncing around a little bit, but as I've said before, these videos are as long as they need to be, and it's not necessarily up to me what they need to have in them or how long they need to be, but I'm open to them being longer if there's things to say. I do invite you to check out our Discord if you want to know more about Life Beyond the Moss and see more about what's happening behind the scenes, such as the bike teardowns and some of the projects and the in-between videos, updates that I do. I try to post on there daily to at least give some sort of update as far as what's going on and what we're doing, either in the shop, on the trails, or here at the house. And there's a great group of people there already, and we're going to keep continuing to grow. And we'd love to have you there. Join the conversation. Give us some ideas for project ideas, things that we can work on. And there's also helpful resources there. So if you're struggling or if you're in need, there's a resource tab, a resource channel with lots of information. And that's going to continue to grow as well as we learn about more information that people might be interested in and people might need. So once again, thank you for tuning in today. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Please like this video, leave a comment down below, subscribe if you haven't, and I look forward to seeing you next time. I hope you have a great day. Bye.